Here's another clip we that Tiffany actually found this one. And it's kind of about radical honesty. Y'all may have seen it before. It's called from Club Shay Shay. So let's take a listen at this one real quick.
I can't believe you would do that. That was.
I am who I am. People know who I am. And that's a beautiful thing. The person I am is beautiful because you don't never have to guess. People like me are a blessing. You don't ever have to guess. And so much of this life is people not wanting to deal with the real and just hiding in the shadows. And instead of honoring, honor is a strong word, but instead of, regarding and respecting people who are straight ahead, we treat them like they are a nuisance. We treat them like they are a disruption when really they are a gift, because it really removes the guesswork of subtext. It removes the guesswork of ulterior motives. I am what I am. What you see is what you get. Whatever you hear me saying is what I'm saying. And to me, that is such an easier route. And I've found people in my life over time that really see that is such a dope way to exist. And it's been a blessing. So when you asked me earlier about like people who have protected me and like people who understand me, like it's those people who see that as a gift, not as an attack.
So, I mean, I have to agree. It's a dope way to exist.
Yeah. And I think that we find ourselves more comfortable around people that exist in such a way when we are living authentically ourselves. I think it's most uncomfortable to be around people that are radically honest and authentically themselves when you struggle to do so yourself.
I can see that. I have almost always been, I've kind of been raised to be that radically honest, an authentic person. That's just, she can tell you, being around my family. I've definitely been raised to be that way. We don't bite our tongues. We'll come straight at you. If I think what you're doing is some BS, I'm going to call it right then and there, and I'm not going to stick around for it. Just simple as that. This is some BS, and I'm leaving.
Right.
I'm not trying to make a scene or anything, but there's probably some other people thinking that too. And so if me being radically honest and saying, this is some BS, this is a waste of time, and I'm leaving, and somebody else is like, that gives them the courage to say, yeah, this is some BS, and I'm leaving too, because I got better things to do in my time, then I'm grateful that I could, number one, stop wasting my own time, and number two, help that person see that we don't have to do this. Like, it's nothing that is keeping us here, forcing us to be here dealing with this, in certain situations. So that's just the type of person that I am. I've always been raised to be that way. So it's like almost impossible to beat that out of me in a sense,
Yeah, that is not going anywhere.
And I don't want it to.
Right.
I don't have a desire. Like whenever I was going to counseling, it wasn't for that.
Yeah, right.
That was never the problem. My counselor never said anything negative to me about my radical honesty with the stuff that I said to them. I'm sure they probably appreciated it. Yeah. It makes things a little bit easier. That's why I didn't have to go to as many counseling sessions, because they didn't have to peel any layers back. They didn't have to take any Instagram filters off of who I was representing myself to be. I'm right there authentically who I am. They're going to hear whatever language I choose to use. Yes, I use profanity. I just clean it up for y'all for the most part, But yeah, they're going to hear all of that. Why? Because this is a session. This is all about me and what I got going on. So I'm going to be my most authentic self. Yeah. Simple as that.
Yeah. And that's the best way to show up. Like you said, I am sure they appreciate that, because it allows them to, do their work more like in a more pointed way, instead of, like you said, having to kind of play, like I said, whack-a-mole earlier. Like I mentioned, trying to figure out, okay, which direction are we going? Is this an issue? Is that an issue? I don't know. He or she is not really letting me in. They're kind of talking around this issue. I don't know. Do I need to address this? I don't know. Like that's,